Good morning, everyone. Myself, Janaki, working as a assistant professor in Tigala Krishna Reddy Engineering College, Department of Humanities and Sciences. My subject name is Environmental Science. Today, I discuss about my topic name is Concept and Components of Ecosystem. First of all, I discuss about the ecology. What is ecology? The word ecology comes from Greek word Oikos means house, home, or surrounding, and logos means study or knowledge. So, simply, ecology can be defined as the study of surrounding animals, human beings. Ecology is the study of interaction of living organisms with one another and with their physical environment. Ecology deals with study of organisms in their natural home interactions with their surrounding. The term ecology derived from Greek words oikias home, lagos study was coined by Ernest Haeckel in 1869. Next, I discuss about the topic ecosystem. Ecosystem is an aggregate system formed as a result of interaction between biotic and abiotic factors. Ecosystem defined as a self-regulating, self-sustainable with the biotic and abiotic internal with the nature. The term ecosystem was first of all proposed by A.G. Dansley in 1935. Ecosystem concept of two words. Eco means environment, system means interaction. An ecosystem consists of all the living and non-living things in a specific natural settings. Plants, animals, insects, microorganisms, rocks, soil, water, and sunlight are major components of many ecosystems. A.G. Tansley defined is it has the system resulting from the interaction of all the living and non-living factors of environment. Ecosystem most prepared one. Eco implies environment and system implies an interaction. Thus, any unit all organisms which the community given on area interaction physical environment so that flow energy clearly defined tropic structure biotic diversity and material cycle within the system known as ecological system. Several types of ecological system based on nature, based on duration, based on size. We can see the flow chart. Ecosystem. Classification of ecosystem. There are two types: natural ecosystem, artificial ecosystem. See this picture. Natural ecosystem. There are again two types: terrestrial ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystem, we know that forest ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, desert ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystem occupy the land. Aquatic ecosystem means occupy the water. Types of water: freshwater ecosystem, marine ecosystem. In freshwater ecosystem, lactic water and lentic water. Lactic water means running water. Lentic water means stagnant water. So here running water, spring ecosystem, river ecosystem, canals ecosystem. Stagnatic water, lentic water is lake ecosystem, pond, hurdle. Okay, this is marine ecosystem. Example of ocean ecosystem, sea, estuaries. Okay, next one. Importance of ecosystem. What is importance of ecosystem? Provides and store clean, fresh air. Okay, maintain air quality. Okay, regulate climate, decrease floods, run off. Okay, prevents erosion, prevents all kinds of pollution. This is the importance of the ecosystem. Next one, scope of ecosystem. See here, ecology plays an important role in agriculture, crop relation, crop rotation, weed control, unwanted plants. Okay, management of grassland, forestry, etc. Biological surveys, fishery surveys, conservation of soil, wildlife surveys of water bodies like rivers, lake, ponds, etc. Purification of water, conserve soil and build soil organic matter. Next topic is structures of ecosystem. Okay, structures of ecosystem. The classification of the ecosystem. First one, structures of ecosystem. Definition of structures. The structures of an ecosystem is essentially a description of an environment, organisms, and physical features. This includes the amount and distribution of energy in the environment. See here, moreover, the structure of ecosystem provides information on various climate conditions prevailing in the environment. Okay, describe structures of ecosystem. See here, structures of ecosystem. There are two types: abiotic components and biotic components. Nothing but non-living components and living components. Components of an ecosystem: abiotic factors and biotic factors. See here, abiotic factors. Physical factors. There are two types: physical factors and chemical factors. Physical factors means climatic factors. Chemical factors, aerobic factors. So, for example, sunlight, rain, temperature, wind, etc. Here, chemical factors, example, carbon dioxide, water, soil, pH levels, minerals, grass, proteins, etc. Biotic components. Biotic components, there are two types. Okay, autotrophic components and heterotrophic components. Autotrophic components here, producer. Heterotrophic components, consumers, decomposers. In consumers, again primary consumers and secondary consumers. Okay, next I discuss what are abiotic components. What is the define the abiotic components? Abiotic components also encompass physical factors and elements such as solar radiation, wind currents, and moisture. It is also what nothing that the sun's radiant energy is the only significant source of energy for an ecosystem. See here, interaction of biotic and abiotic factors. See here picture. Biotic means living organisms. Abiotic means non-living organisms. Biotic living organisms, plants, animals, insects. Okay, see here, biotic components: air, water, soils. Here again coming also decomposers also, for example of biotic components. First one I discuss about the abiotic factors. First one is physical factors. First type of physical factors. Those physical factors which affects the biotic activity in any way from the physical environment. Okay, example, temperature, rain, humidity, or light, etc. Chemical factors, there are two types: inorganic substances and organic substances. Inorganic substances, it includes water, elements, and gas elements: carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, zinc, copper, etc. Organic substances, the substance help to establish relation between biotic, abiotic components. Example, proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, etc. Next type, second type, what are biotic components? The biotic components encompass all living organisms, result in an ecosystem, and they fall under any of the following. Okay, any of these biotic components. Biotic components, nothing but living organisms. Following three categories. See here, producers, consumers, decomposers. Producers, nothing but autotrophic components. We know that. Consumers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers. Decomposers and transformers, dead organic matters. Okay, see here, sample food chain. Food chain. I discussed about the first one, food chain. Food chain, sample food chain. Grass eaten by grasshopper. Grasshopper eaten by rat, rat eaten by snake, snake eaten by hackers. Here, trophic levels. Trophic levels, see, primary producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, quaternary consumers. Why discuss here? See here, consumers, there are three types: primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers. That's why here showing trophic level: primary producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, quaternary consumers. For example, grassland food chain. Okay, grass eaten by. This is the primary producer. Grass is the primary producers. Grass eaten by the grasshopper. Grasshopper nothing but primary consumer. Grasshopper eaten by rat. Rat eaten by snake. Snake eaten by hawk. See here, rat is the secondary consumer. Snake is a tertiary consumer. Hawk is a quaternary consumer. This is for example sample of food chain and a sample of the biotic components. Okay, next one, trophic level. Here already discussing what is the trophic level. Primary, secondary, tertiary consumers already discussed here. What is the trophic level? Trophic level interaction in three concepts. Okay, interaction in three components: food chain, food web, and ecological pyramids. We know that food chain. The trophic level of an organism is the position it holds in a food chain. Okay, position in holds in a food chain, that is called the trophic level. One by one, trophic level 1, trophic level 2, trophic level 3, trophic level 4. Okay, producer, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers. Okay, trophic level 1, 2, 3, etc. Primary producers are the base of every food chain. Okay, these organisms are called autotrophs. Okay, primary consumers are animals that eat primary producers. They are also called herbivores, plant eaters. Secondary consumers eat primary consumers. They are carnivores, meat eaters. Okay, and omnivores. We know that animals both eat animals and plants. Tertiary consumers eat secondary consumers. Quaternary consumers eat tertiary consumers. Autotrophic also producers, also called producers. We know that example green plants, photosynthesis, bacteria. These are the autotrophic. Okay. Next, I will discuss about the food chain. Here coming now. Already trophic level. Here organisms see the position in holes in a food chain. What is the food chain? I discuss now food chain. A food chain is the sequence of who eats in a biological community of an ecosystem to obtain nutrition. A food chain starts with the primary energy source. The way that energy flow between organisms is represented through visual called for food webs. Okay, which are made up of smaller interaction called food chains. Okay, interactions with the food chain. Okay, because many organisms do not exclusively eat one thing, food webs can become very complex very quickly. Okay, now types of food chain. Food chain means eating by eating, that is called food chain. Okay, okay, sequence process. Okay, coming now, sequence process. See here, grass eaten by grasshopper, grasshopper eaten by rat, rat eaten by snake, snake eaten by hawk. This is the grass is the producer. Coming starts with producer. Okay, next last quaternary consumers. Okay, this is the food chain process of the sequence of the eating by eaten by food chain. Okay, food now types of food chains divided into two types: grazing food chain and detritus food chain. First one I discuss now. First one, grazing food chain. The consumers who starts the food chain utilize the plant or plant pot as their food. Okay, constitute the grazing food chain. This food chain begins from green plants and nothing but begins from producers. Okay, green plants. At the base and the primary consumers is a herbivores. For example, see here the tertiary ecosystem. Example of the tertiary ecosystem. The grass is eaten by the caterpillar. Okay, which is eaten by the lizard. And lizard is eaten by a snake. See here, grass eaten by rabbit, rabbit eaten by the fox. See, grass eaten by the caterpillar, caterpillar eaten by the snake, snake by the lizards. Next one, aquatic for more example, aquatic ecosystem. In aquatic ecosystem, phytoplanktons, this is the primary producers, is eaten by zooplanktons, which is eaten by fish, and fish are eaten by pelicans. See here, example, phytoplanktons eaten by zooplanktons eaten by fish. Okay. Next, I discuss now food web. Okay, food web. What is the food web? Food web, definition of the food web. A food web is a natural interaction of food chain, trophic level in a ecosystem are not linear, rather than or interconnected and make a food web. Okay, interconnected make a food web. Thus, the food web is a network of interconnected from chains existing in an ecosystem. Okay, in an ecosystem, naturally interaction of food chains. Okay, food web nothing but naturally interaction of food chains. So only here having no, only one food chain is not there. Having three food chains. See here, grasshopper. Okay, how many food chains are eating? Grasshopper eating by birds, ovals. Okay, again. Okay, two types here. Okay, for example, see here, grass is the producer. Grass eaten by grasshopper eaten by owls. Next one, grass eaten by the rabbit eaten by fox. Okay, next, trees eaten by birds eaten by fox. Okay, next, grassland. Okay, carrots eaten by rabbit eaten by fox. This is the three interconnecting system. This is nothing but this diagram is interconnecting of food chains. Okay, not having one food chain, here having three food chains. Okay, more food chains also having. Okay, first, for example, food web diagram. Okay, next, characteristics of food web. In an ecosystem, no food chain is independent. All food chains are interconnected. Okay, interconnected. Food web is formed by interlinking of three types of food chains. Predatory food chain. Okay, parasitic chains. Okay, saprophytic chain. Okay, predatory food chain, parasitic chain. Okay, saprophytic chains. Okay, food web provides the alternative pathway of food availability. Food web is more real than food chain. Food web is not state. It is not state. It is essential for stability of ecosystem. Normally, a food web operates according to taste and food preference of organisms at each trophic level. We see her next. Food web, grazing food chain. See here, there are two types na food chains. Grazing food chain, see here, grazing food chain. Characteristic of food chain. Dead eaters food chain. Detritus food chain characteristics here. Primary energy source of detritus food chains is dead organic matter called detritus. Main source of dead organic matters are fallen leaves or dead animal bodies. Detritus includes protozoans, bacteria, fungi, etc. These are generally shorter than grazing food chain. Detritus are eaten by secondary consumers, which includes insects, larvae, okay, nematodes, etc. Mangroves, fallen leaf and dead bodies. See here, fungi, bacteria, protozoans. Okay, fungi, bacteria, protozoans is the producers eaten by the insects, larvae, okay, mollusks, fishes. Okay, eaten by minnows, small fish, etc. Large fish eaten by minnows, small fish eaten by large fish eating birds. Okay, dead eaters food chain. The food chain starts from dead organic matters of decaying animals and plant bodies to the microorganisms, and then to detritus feeding organisms called detritus decomposers and to other predators. Okay, the distinction between these two food chains is the source of energy from the first level consumers. This the grazing food chain is nothing but living plant biomass. Detritus food chain is dead organic matters. Okay, decomposers are also called saprotors and saprophytes. Okay, there includes bacteria, fungi, and worms. Okay, next, grazing food chain characteristic of food web. See here. Already this one completed. Okay. End of the session. Thank you, everyone.